talk to you about an awesome topic.
We are talking about Mercury retrograde, which hot buzzword right now. Everybody talks about it. Any major wellness account on Instagram talks about it, probably has a crazy meme about it, and you're like, what the heck is Mercury retrograde? We're here to debunk what it means and how you can get through it, because there's all of these theories out there that it can be really bad, but we're actually on the other side that it can be really positive. And
time to work on yourself and really get feeling of what you want moving forward. So we're going to tell you all about it today. So Mercury retrograde, it happens 3 to 4 times a year for about 3 weeks, and there's also shadow periods on either side. So you're looking at about 4 or 5 weeks at a time, basically like once a season.
Where it feels like you're at a bit of a standstill. You're experiencing a lot of resistance. You're not able to kind of progress ahead as maybe you were like a month ago, and you're feeling like, why is this happening to me? The world is out to get me, which it totally does feel like. But essentially what's happening is Mercury is actually going at a much slower pace on its pivotal axis around the Earth. So it almost appears like it's going backwards, but really it's just moving at a much slower pace, and therefore the energetic forces that we feel on Earth are that, because Mercury controls communication, it controls travel, technology,
relationships, all of that. So you could be noticing, say you get a flat tire, or your boyfriend and you are fighting a bit, or you send a text message to a coworker and they take it the wrong way. That can all be part of Mercury retrograde.
Okay, so this is the last one of 2017. Thank goodness, because we're ready to move on to 2018. And this is a really big one, or important one, because right now we are getting presented basically like a glimpse of different patterns that are recurring, and those patterns could be, you know, negative or toxic, or maybe they're good and it's you know, meant to be a great time. But we take these patterns into consideration so that we can move forward into 2018 in a positive way.
Right, so it's all the themes that have been coming up kind of all year. These are kind of presenting themselves to end off 2017. So going into 2018, you should know what you need to change or what you need to work on, and this should allow you to really grow as a person.
Yes. So 5 tips from Vibe Tribe Wellness, how to get through the retrograde, because now we know what it's all about. We understand how it's working. How can we get through it?
Okay, so tip number 1, breathe. Breathing is so important, and most people forget how to properly do it. So it can be as simple as just taking a few deep breaths in when you feel yourself getting overwhelmed. So whether your communication is off, or your day is just not going right.
Day's not going right, communication is off.
You know what I mean. Number 2.
So this is a big one, and this is something that we both love doing, is journaling. What you get out of a journaling session is so powerful. You get to really reflect on what's happening. You kind of get to write out all your thoughts and your feelings, kind of talk about or explain the situation that's happening. And when you read back on that, you kind of get a bigger picture, or you get an idea of what's actually happening. Like,
it's like a story of your life, and you actually, when you're taking the time to journal, you let go of things, or you put out things out there that you might not just say out loud. And so it's really nice, and it's very personal.
Well, I also think it gives you the opportunity to write out what's happening, and you might not be able to make sense of it in your own mind, but when you're writing it down, you put pen to paper, I feel like things just kind of come together, for me anyways. And journaling is a great way for you to come to some conclusions or come to some realizations about your behavior.
So tip number 3, disconnect. And it's something I personally need to do more.
Same.
Probably you too,
yeah,
because we're
100%.
on our phones, we're on our technology all the time. But just taking time to disconnect from the world can do so much. There's no reason why you need to be looking what your best friend's boyfriend's sister's doing right now.
Although could be interesting.
Could be.
But
we probably don't need to know it right now.
Exactly. So disconnecting from technology, even disconnecting from friends and family, not in like a negative way, but taking that time for yourself.
I love alone time.
Yeah, just being alone with your thoughts and feelings, like that ain't so bad. Staying in on a Friday night, which I did last night.
I did too.
It's okay. And yeah, just taking that time, because sometimes emotions are definitely running at this time of year during the retrograde. So taking that time just to be with yourself, be with your thoughts and your emotions. It's okay. And so number 4, we kind of segued into this one perfectly. Take time for yourself. So beyond just staying in and having a good cry on a Friday night, it's okay if you're laughing too. You don't need to be crying. Just practice that self-care, that self-love to like the extreme. Yeah. So, you know, when you're staying in on a Friday night, you're feeling a little lonely.
Do that face mask.
Do that face mask. You know, blast that song that you love. You know, read your favorite book, watch your favorite trashy show. No one cares. It's what you want to do, and it's what's going to make you feel better.
And that brings us to our final step. And this is a big one during retrograde. So number 5, it is to double check all your work and everything. So
back up your life.
Yeah, that's the thing, because during retrograde, as we were talking about, there's a lot going on in the galaxy, in the universe out there, and it's been known during retrograde for technology to crash. If there's contracts, oh my gosh, I cannot talk today. See, it's the retrograde, the communication is off. But anyways, like even just like anything that you're handing in, assignments, double check everything, because it's been known to be a time that things can be off.
You know, we've got 5 tips to help you get through the retrograde. Just remember, it is a time where things are a little more challenging. You know, don't look to make any big drastic changes or adjustments in your life. You know, take this time to reflect and think about what you really want. If you have further questions, let us know. Please subscribe.
Comment below.
We want to hear it. We want to hear what your tips are. Maybe you've got something that we've missed. So thanks for tuning in, guys.